All right, with that now, let's go to the app of the week. And I want to talk about an app, a rebirth of an app. And this is an app called the Shuttle music player. They have totally revamped and changed it and developed the app using Kotlin, Kotlin. So it is written in Kotlin instead of the previous version. So now this is a new app. And right now it's in the early stage or early beta stage, and people can opt into it and give it a try and see what it feels like. We will be including the URL in the show notes. So now I'm going to bring up, the app is very simplistic, and I do want to say here at the get-go that there are a couple unlabeled buttons. So I'm going to be reaching out to the developer to see if he could fix those unlabeled buttons. So when you bring up the app, of course, it asks for those permissions to be able to scan your device for, media and all of that. And so I've got it running on my phone, and I want to get to, the places that have the unlabeled button, and that would be near the top left. And that simply says, unlabeled button, and that basically should be your navigate to top button. And I was already playing something. Now, the good thing about this is that you can just swipe left or right to move to the previous track or to the next track or whatever the case may be. However, there's a physical button that says next or previous to the right and left of what is being played. At the bottom of the phone, we have, tabs like, I'm going to go back here to the main UI.
Home tab, 1 of 4.
We have the Home tab.
Library tab.
We have the Library tab, which says it's selected currently.
Search tab, 3 of 4.
Then there's the Search. And then the one that is unlabeled, it's simply going to say Tab.
Tab, 4 of 4.
Now, here's the interesting thing about the one that says Tab. To me, that sounds like it should have been labeled like Options. Because when you tap on it, this is what you get. You get Shuffle.
Sleep timer, 2 of 4.
There's a sleep timer.
Equalizer, 3 of 4.
Equalizer.
Settings, 4 of 4.
And the last one is the settings. Now, when we tap on the settings,
Shuttle 2.0. Button, unlabeled, out of list.
now you hear unlabeled. That's the navigate tab. If I tap on that, it's going to put me back in the main UI where we tapped on the tab that simply says tab. So, but I'm not going to do that, but I want to show you what we have in the settings.
Settings.
In the settings, we've got
Display, heading, 1 of 20. List,
display, how you want it to look.
Night mode, matches the system preference for night mode by default, 2 of 20.
Night mode.
Media, heading, 3 of 20.
The media.
Media provider, choose between Shuttle's built-in media scanner and the Android media store, 4 of 20.
So if you tap here, you can choose the provider, or you could scan locally.
Rescan the device for media, 5 of 20.
That's self-explanatory.
Excluded, /edit excluded, 6 of 20.
You can tap here to exclude folders you don't want it to scan.
Artwork, heading, 7 of 20.
Artwork.
Wi-Fi only download artwork from remote sources when Wi-Fi is available, switch on, 8 of 20. Local only, don't download artwork from remote internet sources, switch off, 9 of 20. Clear artwork, remove all cache artwork, 10 of 20. Widgets, heading, 11 of 20.
Widgets.
Dark mode, switch on, 12 of 20. Background opacity, 13 of 20. Slider, 100%. Changelog, heading, 14 of 20.
All right.
Changelog, 15 of 20. Show changelog on launch, switch on, 16 of 20. Privacy, heading, 17 of 20. Crash recording, Shuttle delects crash data via bugs tab. Turn off the opt-out, switch on, 18 of 20. Debug, heading, 19 of 20. File login, write Shuttle logs to a file on disk, which can be copied via the debug door, switch off, 20 of 20.
That's the last one. If I,
Button, unlabeled, out of list.
then that's a label button, which is a navigated tab.
Artist,
I tap on that, it brings me back to the main UI. And so I'm going to go to the library.
library tab, selected, 2 of 4, list, 4 items.
That's where it's going to show all your songs.
0 tab, 1 of 4.
And then there's
there's
the home.
0 1 out, we ever get this way, unknown Andy Kim. Greatest hits 1968 to 1984. 0 1 out, we ever get this way, unknown Andy.
So you see, I have
Artist, selected.
a song here. So when you tap on library, near the top,
Genres, tab, 1 of 5.
you have
Five items.
genres.
Playlist, tab, 2 of 5.
playlist.
Artist tab selected. 3 of 5.
Artist, and I'm selecting the artist right now. That's why I said selected, because I have Andy Kim in there.
Albums tab 4 of 5.
Albums
Songs tab 5 of 5.
and songs. So since I've tapped on the artist,
01 now we ever get this way. Unknown Andy Kim.
and if I tap on it, that takes me to where
Now playing. 01 now we
I
ever get
could
previous.
play there. So there's in the middle is the play button, and then
Now playing. Slider 6%.
to the left of it is the previous, and to the right of that is the next
Skip previous
button.
button. Now playing. 01 now we ever get this way. Top skip next button. Toggle playback button.
So you hear it playing. If I swipe from right to left, and I swipe again, and if I swipe left, I swipe back. So, and again, you could still do your, find
Now playing. 01 now. Now playing. 3%.
Next.
Skip next button.
this next, and go back to
Shuffle button.
previous,
Update.
and then
Shuffle button.
there's a shuffle as well, and things like that. So I'm gonna hit
Toggle playback button.
the stop where it says toggle playback, and that stops it from playing. That's the very simplistic app called the Shuttle
Pixel launcher. 2.0.
music player. It's a rebirth of an app that was there before, but they've decided to do something different, and there's no ads in this. It's just pure, nice and clean, with the exception of the fact that those two buttons, the navigate top and the options, are not labeled, but at least you now know what those buttons do. That would be the app of the week in the way of the Shuttle music player. Boys, any comments about the Shuttle music player?
That is a nice app, and the best thing of the app, it has equalizer, so for all the audio files they could tune the audio as they want.
And by the way, this was playing this Andy Kim album that I have. It's all in FLAC. What's FLAC again? Austin, you're the audiophile. I don't remember
Yeah.
what FLAC stands for. Something lossless, something
Lossless codec.
audio codec.
Yeah. That is my
Okay,
favorite
so
format to record in.
that's right, FLAC. Dennis, any comments about Shuttle music player? I'm going to be including the URL, of course, in our show notes of the week.
My only comments would be hopefully the developer will label that unlabeled button. I do agree that it should be probably labeled options, but again, it comes back to the developers need to use the tools that are given when they develop and implement accessibility. It's a lot easier to implement accessibility from the ground up. And I think one of the common myths is that there are not blind people on Android. And that's simply not true. So developers, if you're listening, please develop for accessibility. Please follow the instructions to make your apps accessible with TalkBack so that all users can enjoy your apps. And it will, if your app is a paid app, it will get, if there's in-app purchases, people to most likely buy your app because you did take the time to make it accessible. I do not have a problem rewarding developers that make their apps accessible and go above and beyond to make sure it's accessible.